Welcome back, round 2 to Beyond Bars. We tried to kick this off once already today, so with a quick intro, I'm Catherine Gongaware.
I'm Felonious Monk.
I'm Kyrie the Comic.
And we have a guest today. Welcome to Beyond Bars, Zoe Leigh. Yeah. We are so excited to have you. Kyrie introduced you to us and us to you. Kyrie, you want to give a little background, intro, and then Zoe will let you speak on it, of course.
I want to say a lot of the big words, like a artist, an activist, a community leader, a orator, a manager, a comedian, a comedic mind in the city and beyond. Someone that's super important to the culture and to Chicago especially. Somebody who I value and I respect so much that I have even organized with and I'll always ride for. So please, I appreciate everybody if y'all could put your hands together for the one and only Miss Zoe Leigh.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I was immediately gonna give you shit for saying big words and then 2 syllables, 3 syllables, but they were the correct weight of words. Those were heavy weighted words.
Kathy came in with weight today.
Yes.
She came in with some heat.
I
I was ready.
She be on my ass.
I was ready. You talking about big words? He was like, help me. That's not a big word. I'm like,
I had a lot of like hot energy this weekend, a lot of like back-to-back like shows and just like, a little stress. So let me go ahead and not take it out on you. Great intro, Kyrie. Great intro, Zoe. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'm just a regular. Do you curse?
Oh yeah, live your life.
Oh yeah,
Express
that's a regular.
all right, well,
nigga.
let's help Zoe out. Fuck all that bullshit. Say what you want to say. Nobody gonna beat our asses. All right, now you can go.
That's a regular nigga. Just see some weird stuff going on in the world and just want to ask some questions that everybody else is afraid to ask.
I feel like that's the best activist, right? Because it directly affects you. It's not like you live in a mansion somewhere and you come down to help the little people, or your presence is a present. Like, some people who have money and think you actually do the work because the work impacts you directly. And if you don't do the work, it's going to be a problem.
Okay.
Oh.
I appreciate that. I was about to say the same thing. So thank you. We got Zoe's brother in the building as well.
Right.
We got new producers in the back.
Dave. They getting money. They like, hey, lean in. We can't hear you good. That's good. But yeah.
Get the money. Make sure the mic pick you up. Get the money. Just to kick it off though, I know you from so many different ways. One of my favorite things is your fiery passion for the community. I done been downtown with you a couple times, and Zoe's one of the people you better stay the whole time, because the second you leave, she gonna get arrested. You like, what the hell just happened? So no, it be lit, cause we both think Brandon Johnson is an asshole.
Hey man, I'll never be in the right places. Y'all know I love to tussle. Why don't nobody ever invite me? I swing first. We can talk out of. Oh, okay. I used to live across from 26th Street. We could do it. True story. I lived on 26 in California for a long time.
Ooh.
The joke I got about throwing my hat because the Mexicans was like, yo, you can't wear that here because it's a Latin King neighborhood. I was living on 26 in South California, across the street from the prison.
Ooh.
I slapped the shit out of Brandon Johnson and just walked myself in. If you feeling away, Brandon.
You
I like your hair,
some,
though.
Which style?
Yoga
'Cause
Tuesday
it's
nights.
3 at 1.
It's just the top one, right? This is the one on the top. The side shit is weird. I don't know what's happening over there. But the top shit, I like that. You
That's
went with
that
a
great clip saying shit he got in his head.
You went with a
30,000.
mohawk. That's a very brave choice, sir.
30,000 for the hairstyle.
30,000. Yeah, that's what's up.
It's 10,000 for the mohawk, 10,000 for the fade, and 10,000
for the afro. The underfro.
Is that what it is?
Man,
30,000.
Who is this barber?
Apparently
Miss
God.
Shirley.
30K is crazy.
Insane. And with makeup too now.
Wait, what?
Nah, they got
Makeup
they got a
too.
permanent makeup joint.
Man, makeup.
Hey man,
That's one of the things I don't miss about. Like if you do anything where you constantly on TV, they have a makeup artist for you. Or
With
you
that
gonna look
many
like,
thousands like that though.
you know
They
how
are
much makeup
expensive.
artists charge
Yes.
per hour,
Makeup
and you
artists are
black.
expensive as fuck.
All right.
Because if you black, you got a different palette. And so a lot of the makeup artists don't carry palettes for darker skin. So he's got a very specific makeup person.
Why? This the first mayor I heard about all of this stuff.
Well, because you saw Lori Lightfoot, and you know they wasn't. She didn't try.
Yeah.
What about Mayor? What's my girl down there running Dalton like Suge Knight? What's her name?
She got a makeup artist. She might have a makeup team.
Right.
She might have a glam team.
Tiffany Haynes.
Right.
Yeah, she got a team.
Tiffany.
Yeah, she got a team. Son.
Yeah, she using all of Dalton's money.
She might be on the
all
dollars.
of their budget.
I want to know how much she's spending on makeup. If Brad is spending $30K, I know she's spending $100.
I feel like overall, not to like genderfy y'all, but like I do think men have no idea how much money we can spend on makeup and skincare and hair.
I got a
like
daughter
it
and
is.
a wife.
Yeah. Well, then you
I don't know how much y'all can spend. I know how much I can spend too. Goddamn much.
Yeah, I'm not trying to separate. I'm just saying, like, it's beyond. It's beyond my own comprehension sometimes, and I do a lot of shit myself, and still, like, you know, everyone. I feel like everyone that's working with a budget is like, okay, which things am I going to do myself? Which things I'm going to pay for? Because it's just so fucking expensive.
But you know what's wild about that is, women will be criticized for shit we won't. Like, what's my man Charlamagne the God went on TV every day with hyperpigmentation. Nobody says shit. We'll joke it, but we weren't like, what's wrong with him? Why isn't he getting that fixed? Let Angela Lee went on that motherfucker with 3 or 4 dark patches. We'd have been like, God damn, Angela Lee's skin fucked up. Wow, look, skin look terrible than a lizard skin, bitch. So, you know what I mean? There's a
that's
societal...
that's by the way why I maintain you're buying dinner first, and it's like a joke among many female comedians, but like we all say it. I genuinely feel that way. You can buy dinner because you have no idea how much money I spent to walk through the store.
That plus there was a whole study done. There was an article done. This dude wore the same suit every day for a year to work, and no one said a word to him. No one said a word to him. The expectation for men is so much lower, right?
Makes me so angry.
I think because you're so right, I should talk about Charlamagne more. Like in order to offset the universe on some like Thanos shit, I should just talk about Charlamagne every day for like 30 days.
30 straight days?
Just
because.
Because I have to give the balance. You were right. And Charlamagne, you're ugly.
Oh fuck!
Oh
I
my
know
God!
that's
Well, first of all,
I thought that's what we were doing. We're not doing
that. What we not gonna do?
We're not talking about that.
We're not gonna do.
We're not talking
Let's talk about my brother.
See how I started with a critical. See how I just was like, hey man, Charlamagne.
I thought that's what we was doing.
Okay. Some was like, nah, fuck that little ugly pit bull. Look, I was like, whoa. I didn't say that at all. I just said he had skin thing, and then he got that fixed. Nah, but they make you wear. And by the way, one thing that's horrible about TV, once you've worn makeup one time and you see yourself, it's very difficult not to wear makeup after that.
Yes.
It's because you go, oh shit, I'm ugly as fuck without makeup. Like you don't, and you're not. But the change, right? Like I'm 52. Once they put that concealer under my once they put that concealer under my eye, though, I was 30. You know what I mean? I was in the shit. Yeah, no, you ask me some more questions. Hold on, I don't need these glasses. That's crazy. Nah, my skin I just got good skin. That's genetics. I'm telling you, once you do it, it's like IG filters. People start using IG filters and don't want to see their regular face. It is a mental illness.
Yes.
But I just worry that like when you do it on a public dime, but then you come and tell the public like, yo, we got to go up on like on property taxes or we got to make these cuts to your budget.
Let's keep it a rack. I don't care if my mayor has good skin. That's wasted bullshit.
But
they
see, that's what I'm saying though. Like that's what I'm saying. Like,
well, I mean,
we out here governing ourselves. I'm trying to tell you. So at this point,
expand on it.
We out here with the worst administration.
From the bottom to the top.
Them aldermen terrible too. 50 aldermen. I call them the disgrace 50. They are terrible too. We honestly, we gotta just.
What do you think?
On.
Talk about the
disgraceful. Chicago flips red. I done had it with the Democratic Party.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Do you know how bad the Democrats have to fuck up?
I done had it.
True story. I'm asking the question out loud. How bad do the Democrats have to fuck up for black people who witnessed Civil Rights Act, MLK? You know what I mean? We're talking about historically what did Ronald Reagan call it? Welfare mothers. We witnessed all of the GOP shit for the last 50 plus years. Jim Crow, and we still got to go, you know what? You motherfuckers are just the same people with better language. Like if I beat your ass every day and I call you a nigga, I'm horrible. If I beat your ass every day and I'm like, now hopefully that helped you out. I still am beating your ass every day. I don't care what you're saying. The clip that went viral last week was there were a bunch of people going, you guys are upset about words. Mm-hmm. They think racism is words. Mm-hmm. Racism is policy. And the fact is, both sides have policy that fucks us over. Amen. The problem is, the left has policies that don't specifically help us, but they trickle down to help us. The right don't give a fuck about their own. They'll fuck their own to fuck us. I think we need a third party.
We definitely need a third party, but we also need to rebrand. Like,
I agree
this generation is, I'm a millennial, so I'm speaking from a millennial perspective, and I'm also down there with a lady who is Gen X, Miss Jessica Jackson. Shout out to Miss Jessica. Shout out to Miss
Jessica, yes.
And then you have another man who, Mr. Blakemore, he's 80. So that's boomer, right? So you got the boomer, Gen X, and then you got millennial. And you hear them talking about their situations, but then here comes me, and I'm like, I grew up in privilege. Right? So
compared.
Yeah. Right. So me growing up in privilege, I'm not trying to hear nothing. So I also know that the Constitution is supposed to protect us. You understand? So if the Constitution is supposed to be protective, how is the whole government violating that? And that's what I'm dealing with here in the city of Chicago, as far as this being a Democratic city. Yeah. It's been a Democratic city for a very long time. You cannot run Republican here.
You can't.
You can't.
They do all the time, just under Democratic banner. And I think that's what's been interesting to me coming from the East Coast. I came here and they're like, oh, this is a blue city. And then I'm listening to the policies and I'm like, that's not a fucking blue. That's not blue. The fuck y'all talking about? The increase in policing used to be specifically a GOP policy. The left is running on increased policing more and more and more every fucking election cycle. And black and brown people are telling you every time you fucking do that to make people feel safe, it doesn't make people feel safe. Not only does it not make people feel safe, it inherently makes people unsafe.
Yeah, and we get in, like, I'm from the East Coast. I'm from New York. I'm from Albany, New York. Okay. So I'm from upstate New York. And I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood. So I really see I understand what racism is. Like, I tell people all the time, like, a lot of my friends, they grew up and stuff, they dealt with, like, the crack epidemic and stuff like that. I didn't deal with that. My mother dealt with racism, but I also understand the crack epidemic. And what I see now in 2024 is the Democratic Party, especially I'll say in the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois, has been detrimental to black Chicago citizens for a very long time, to the point now that our children are lost. So I got into this fight. I don't have children, but I got into this fight seeing our future. Like, damn, if no one does not come out here and start speaking out, then we are done. And that's what I saw. And I'm watching this this is a Democratic city. And so my thing is, I'm dealing with eminent domain. And the city of Chicago knocked down my family's building, and we have yet to get compensated. When I started this fight, I didn't look at black, white, all that. I looked at, y'all violated the Fifth Amendment. The government owes my family, and it's my generational wealth. I'm down there fighting. I done reached to chief of staff for Joe Biden, chief of staff for Kamala Harris, start trickling down to the inspector general, to the attorney general federal level, come to the state level, try to talk to Governor Pritzker, his chief of staff, come down to attorney general Kwame Raoul, mayor, alderman. Ain't nobody trying to help me? Flip this shit red.
And I think that what you're saying is what people missed in that last election. People were thinking about, oh, it's because of Gaza, it's because of this. No, it's because under whatever administration it's been. And we talked about Kyrie, you mentioned this. What did you say about if you're in a situation where your material life isn't being changed either way? Because we like, everybody's got to vote. Why? And I'm not saying why, like, I don't know why. I know
it's going to grow.
Not just apathy, but anger.
Yeah,
anger is apathy. Everyone thinks apathy is the worst that can happen, just not caring. No. You can not care about some shit and still move. I don't care about jobs. That's why, you know what I mean? But I would go to the motherfucker. anger, where you're actively, we're at the point now where we're closer to anarchy than we are to even flipping red. Like, we're at the point now where motherfuckers are like, listen, every belief that you held from childhood till now, everything that you learned in your civics classes from childhood until now is not true. There are no checks and balances, because if there were, somebody could check the Supreme Court, but they can't. There are no checks and balances because the Supreme Court just said that the president can do whatever the fuck he wants to do while he's the president and he's immune to any type of prosecution. So if checks and balances were what I was taught as a child was the thing that made our particular brand of government special, and it's the reason that we don't have as much corruption as everybody else, and then you watch the corruption unfolding in real time with cameras in their faces. We're watching Supreme Court justices being bought in our faces. Not, I heard a rumor. We're talking about, we saw this shit. There's paperwork. These motherfuckers are on vacation together. We seeing Joe Biden tell us that this motherfucker's the Antichrist and we're fighting for our lives and we're fighting for democracy. And as soon as he wins, he invites him into the Oval Office for a photo op. Why? So what you're telling me is none of the shit that we believed about our country and about our government is true.
Yeah, he freed
None of it. None of it. The Constitution is a fucking piece of paper, because no laws are real unless someone's willing to enforce them. And no one is willing to enforce the laws against rich people, specifically rich white men.
Or if you're going up against the government. Because my family has everything to show that y'all are in the wrong.
Doesn't matter.
But they not a deed, trust. Right. We got all that. Everything that they say white people have. Oh, you got to get a trust. Got the trust, got to have a deed. Got the deed, paid off property. It's my generational wealth. Where the fuck is my money at?
Nothing
you understand what I'm saying?
And there's literally nothing you can do about it except ask.
Yeah.
You're asking. And the problem is you're asking a mechanism, one arm of the same group of motherfuckers who did that to you. The people who took your property are the people you're going back to ask for your money for your property. And they could just, when they say no, the only thing you could do is start slapping the shit out of people. Now you lawless.
But why on God's green earth would our tax paid leaders, our servants, why would they treat you like you 3/5 a human? Why would they do that?
Because we allow. Let me tell you something.
The French don't.
When I
the North Koreans, the South Koreans don't.
I said Paris is
a shooter in New York don't.
Paris will blow up Paris. Okay, it won't be like they don't play.
Yeah, if you're not gonna stand by what you said we were as a country,
and that's
then
our
fuck
problem. Y'all. That is our problem. It's on. Yeah, that is our problem. And that's why that's why we are where we are now. When I first started this, people thought I was, I went down there protested by myself. Oh, you're gonna need 100 people. No, I don't. I'll need my stuff. They knocked down my family. I don't know what everybody else is doing. So I started doing down there all summer, right? Nobody else. I'm talking to people. I know people from Black Lives Matter, like the head. You're gonna need 100 people down there. Well, you pay for them then, because that's what y'all do.
Woo! Woo!
So now I'm down here by myself.
I'm about to advocate for something that's going to probably, fuck it, I can fight good. What we saw this week with United Healthcare's CEO, and I want to be clear, it's not the United Healthcare Group's CEO. That's witty. That's who came and spoke the next day, who said Brian Thompson was a phenomenal leader and did more for healthcare in this country, da-da-da-da-da. What he meant was he did more for our shareholders than anybody else, because there's somebody who has, right, I'm 50 years old, so there's certain procedures I have to get, right? I have to because of age. Every doctor suggested, every medical journal suggested. I have full coverage insurance. Why do I have to pay for it? I got an MRI that I have to pay for that the doctor said I needed. He sent me to a specialist. I was within care. I'm not. So when I see that, people are like, how could you applaud murder? I applaud justice. And how can you not applaud justice? And that's the concern we have, right? So what we're seeing now, and what the CEOs are seeing, what the rich people are seeing, is that there are a bunch of people who are very comfortable watching them die. You have tricked us for too long saying violence is never the answer. Meanwhile, you're violent to everybody. Every country you go to, you use violence. How can somebody who has the biggest military and the biggest military spending in the world globally by a lot, by 2 to 3 times closer than the next 2 or 3 countries combined? You don't get to say violence is not the answer when everything you do is done with violence. When every city, when you need some control, you bring in not only your police force, but then the National Guard, and your police force has military equipment. So when you say violence isn't the answer, you mean for me. It is absolutely the answer for you. not only is it the answer for you, but you make the rules so that when you do violence, we don't get to call it violence. You call it justice. When we do violence, it's called terrorism.
Oh, just like
so what we saw this week was there are a lot of people in the United States who at least are tacitly comfortable with a motherfucker shooting a motherfucker in the face for some bullshit.
And that's why it's taking a long time to find out who the person is.
Because we out here I don't know. That look like dude. No, it don't. For 50 grand? Bro, if you got more than $50,000 in student loans, you're going to need to pay me more than $50,000.
Yeah, when I saw when it first came out, when I saw $10,000, I said $10,000.
I have $10,000 in medical bills right now. Fuck off.
Fuck you talking about?
Yeah.
And the same day that he got shot.
Put way more money on somebody.
Listen.
It's more money here than Quando Rondo.
Did you know the day that he got shot, Anthem put out a message saying that they were going to stop covering anesthesia all the way through some surgeries. Basically, they were like, all right, the anesthesia.
What the hell are you supposed to do?
We'll give you 2 hours worth of.
What are you supposed
Listen,
to do?
they were like, we'll give you 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever. And if the surgery lasts longer than that, we're not covering the additional anesthesia.
You making my doctor hurry
But he
up?
got shot the next morning. They were like, yeah, I don't motherfucking know, man. Maybe we should.
For the people who watching, this brother in the bullets was carved deny, defend, and depose. Right? Dispose. So this ain't no regular. This is like some Batman level type shit.
Listen,
because he got away.
The healthcare companies have a monopoly. They found monopoly money in his backpack. We're not playing anymore.
I call it more like Robin
people
Hood.
are tired.
And I'm saying that it's going to be more of that required, because as much as when you start looking at countries that have unstable governments, you see a lot of intrigue, right? They're like, oh, they're corrupt. Yeah, but you also see people getting shot. You see a lot of military coups. You see a lot of takeovers, and they're never bloodless. There's no such thing as a bloodless coup. So what we're seeing right now appears to be a bloodless coup, but I guarantee there'll be blood. I promise there'll be blood, and I don't know whose it's going to be. Could be mine. Who knows? But the point is, this shit's going to get uglier before it gets cute. If they're shooting healthcare CEOs,
and then you just hear like
Sally Mae, watch your ass. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be crazy.
There was a different take that I heard, which I felt very unfortunate about, because it hit me harder, which was that maybe he was about to do something. Like, if you think about the people and like who would have conspired to shoot this man, right? Who would have done something like this? Like, was he about to do something good? Was he about to say something to the public? Like, who else would have had an interest in taking this guy out? You know what I mean? Like, I love the Robin Hood theory. I love the Batman theory. Like, we all, that's like, murder or not, whatever, let's set it aside. Like, yeah, we all hope that it's somewhat like V for Vendetta level here. It's like, come to help and save us collectively and rise up. But like,
the Department of Justice was just investigating. They just started to investigate the Department of Justice because of this. You know, they took a lot of money with that share the stocks. They they were investigating him and the chairman of United Healthcare. So he was they was ready to go to jail.
The fact that
he probably would have talked.
Yeah,
right? I think
that's
what the situation is.
Well, if somebody gets a hit put on them, somebody more powerful usually is the or
that's
somebody
at
least equally
right?
powerful.
With such a good hitman, though,
and
like
a strong
this
hit.
wasn't
Was
no $5.
Hell
yeah, this was an amazing ass hitman.
Hold on, son. 5 minutes.
But
his whole
found
face
him,
out.
though.
That ain't got nothing to do with him.
Like
that's got more to do with the rest.
Video game.
Bro, that's got more to do with the rest of society going, fuck you, we not going to help you, and police being inept.
Or
solve
people
crime.
escorting him out. Like,
right.
He's not.
Was
he acting alone?
Everybody is tired.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Police
regardless,
tired, everybody tired.
Did you see the police looking through Central Park? Them motherfuckers was walking through Central Park like, he ain't over there.
Yeah.
I don't see him. I don't know.
Also shouting him
out. They found
out.
a book bag with Monopoly money.
They're like, this guy is so good. He is really good. You should
listen. Year 3, they gonna ask Trump like, what happened to him? He's so elusive. He's the most elusive. Some say he's almost as elusive as me. He's the most elusive we've seen. Maybe we'll catch him. Maybe we won't. Who knows? But he's very elusive. That's what I call him, Elusive Elliot. That's not his name, but that's what I call him. It's going to be great. We're going to catch him. We're going to catch everybody but him, and then we'll fight one-on-one.
To your point, his whole face is out. Like, do they really want to catch him? I mean, yeah, we can
got
run
facial
that
recognition, facial recognition all over New York City, and you can't find this motherfucker. You ain't put his name out.
He's more dangerous if you catch him.
Yeah, because he might say something.
Not even if he says something. What he represents. He represents, because we talked about governing yourself. We talked about, and look, You are amazing for how you were able to continue to fight that system. There are people who are not as articulate or who don't have the resources, so they can't even get that far within the system, right? There are a lot of people whose voices have not been heard, and historically, even Martin Luther King said, violence is going to be the next way that people who are unheard
what did he say?
express themselves.
He said riot is the language of the unheard. The problem in this country,
it just can't be it has to be grassroots.
It has to be.
That's
it
the
can't
problem.
be.
You don't think that murder was grassroots enough?
No, that shit was paid for by another rich motherfucker.
It gotta be
so you want
grassroots.
authentic murder?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like my murder with a little animosity. I want my murder to come from an authentic place.
That's the
murder because you
problem.
mad. Don't murder for money. That's a mercenary.
It has to be grassroots, and it's growing.
What if they do group economics and put their money together for a hitman?
I think if they do group economics and put their lives on the line for a general strike, they will shut this motherfucker down. Because we're running out of the AI can't do what they said it could do. Nope. Kiosk ain't doing what they say it can do. And if you don't believe it, go to the stores where they used to have self-checkout. Now you have 3 people manning the fucking self-checkout to make sure you're not stealing. They got additional cameras coming in that go to the cloud. They're paying more money for self-checkout than they were paying to fucking hire people to do the fucking job. So everything that they estimated was intended to not pay people. It wasn't to
disruptors.
It wasn't just to reduce costs. It was to not pay people. And at some point, people gonna go, "Hey, man, they killed a millionaire," and they continue with their meeting immediately. They don't give a fuck about any of us.
The job posting is up for the position.
The job posting was up for the position at the end of the meeting. They were like, "Hey, man, fix the link in. Secretary, you go do this." Business is business.
And that's the problem with us.
That's America.
We are a business.
As
Black
a country.
America alone is
we have a GDP. We have a GDP.
I don't know what we doing. And that's the problem. We just out here just allowing anything, and then people get mad. Like, people mad. There's so many people mad at me because
why people be mad at you? Why do people be mad at you?
I'm a black Republican until we figure out that we don't need neither party. Because I've been saying this before I even decided that I was going to go the Trump way. I told everybody, I don't understand why we aren't boycotting. I don't understand why we are dealing with this. Why are we arguing about what massa we about to put in the White House? I don't understand what are we doing. Mr. Gregory been mad his whole fucking time last 4 years because we do not know how to just get along. He used to always say, if we would be more like the Jews, we would be somewhere. And that's what my thing is, though. Like, that's crazy. And we're the chosen one.
I think what's interesting about Dick Gregory, too, is I met him, and I actually went to the last show that you produced for him here at the Promontory. I got a chance to talk to him again. But I met him in 2014 in Ferguson.
Oh, okay.
And he's from St. Louis originally. He spent, his formative years in comedy were here, but he's a St. Louis native. And I remember the energy that surprised me because at his age, to just physically be there meant something, right? To physically show up. And I think people being mad at you for being a black Republican is lacking the same nuance they say that black Republicans lack. And what I mean by that is there are coons. They're absolutely coons. There's Herschel Walker who doesn't know
Tim Scott, Byron Donalds.
These are black Republicans who have an expectation of the Republican Party that will never happen. That's not what you're saying.
Right.
You're not saying I'm voting for the Republicans because they're the best for us. You're saying I'm voting for Republicans because we voted for Democrats for this long and it hasn't helped us.
Right.
I don't believe in them motherfuckers either.
Right.
But and so this is something that's been pissing me off for the last 8 years. People saying that your vote can't be an act of defiance. People saying that you can't vote third party because that fucks the whole. No. This incremental change is what got us. We should have learned that during Barack Obama's time. This idea that if I beat your ass every day and then I just cut it back to 20 out of 30 days a month, that's progress and that's good. And the person getting their ass whipped is supposed to go, okay, I'll be patient. Fuck that. I'm tired of getting my ass whipped 20 days. I shouldn't be getting my ass whipped. I should not be getting my ass whipped is the problem. And again, I think tactically, my tactic is not going to be to vote red, but my reasoning for that is I'm Gen X. I'm old. It's hard for me to vote for the Republican, the party of Reagan, because I grew up in a time where that motherfucker was public enemy number one in my hood. He bought the crack to my hood, right? That said,
no, literally.
He literally bought it. But that said, my family's Muslim. what Kamala is doing in Gaza and what she's saying about Gaza. You want me to look in the camera and go, well, I voted for people to continue killing my family members and friends of mine because I also wanted other friends of mine to not have a hard time. That's not a choice. When you tell somebody this is the lesser of two evils, you're telling me I have bad options. I say this about poor people all the time. They're like, poor people make bad decisions. No, poor people have poor options. Poor people have poor options. They can't make a good decision because none of the options that they would make would be good. There's no good version of poor that's going to get them out of poor. Right? So, they can go get an education. Now they're $100,000 in debt. With if they can get qualified for it.
If they have a felony, they cannot get access to the education that will get them out of the class they're in.
So what are they supposed to do? Right? So this is you make bad money decisions. When you don't have enough money. Right. Right. No, that's a legitimate question. But so all of these tactics, and I think that there's a combination of these tactics that will eventually work, because if the Democrats don't realize that you can't just say what you'll do for black people, you actually have to do something. If they just say what they're doing for women, but they don't actually do anything, we're going to protect your rights. Bullshit, because you had all this time from 1973 until a couple of years ago to codify Roe versus Wade, and you didn't. You used it to the same way Donald Trump just used the border as part of his platform. When they could have shut shit down, they could have locked the border down. The same way he used that as a part of his platform. He said, hey, don't fix it, because if you fix it, I can't campaign on it. That's what the left has been doing. They're going to take away Roe versus Wade. We got to vote to protect it, bitch. Protect it. When Barack had a super majority, why wasn't that a priority? When Barack had a super fucking majority, why didn't he protect women? And I'm not shitting on Barack. I'm telling you that this is a institutional issue.
But no, it's documented even on here. Remember, we had Bev in earlier.
No, I'm so serious. It's an institution.
And Bev is somebody who's in the community organizing, and Beverly said, "I'm voting Trump." And this was back in what was that, like March or something?
We had Bev in March, and she spoke similarly, and we didn't.
And I want people to hear that, though. I want people to hear the reasoning, because they keep doing the thing where they're like, only an idiot, only a fool. You don't care about this. You don't care about that. Listen to what people are saying. You can't condescend to people who've been through shit and expect them to
my thing is, first of all, she wasn't running on shit. You want to be completely honest. Number two is, Biden is... Everybody that says that Trump is the racist, Biden is the real racist. That people say Trump is. I want it too.
No, as a New Yorker, Trump a racist too.
But they both. They threw her under the. Biden threw her out there to the wolves, and he did that because it was get back. Because this is why I know the Democratic Party is just. It turned to a social club. You know what I'm saying? It turned to a Soho house. Like, real talk.
I do because when Elon tweet Bernie Sanders now, and they tweet each other. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, it's because it's progressive tech, which is so
because when she first ran for president
in 2020,
that debate that she had, and she went in on Biden about
everybody.
That segregation on them buses. That's when the Kamala Angels, that's when they should have really win.
Mm-hmm. That's when the K-Hive should have went hard.
They should have, like, that right there, and then start bringing up the 94 crime bill. Start bringing up all this stuff. He would have had a chance.
But the problem was old black people who have been Democrats forever, and I'm talking slightly older than myself because I'm old, but older than me, have so little faith in this system, they'll take the crumb. And I'm not. I want to make sure that they hear me. I'm not being disrespectful. I understand. I understand that going from Jim Crow to this is an improvement for you. I was born in '72. I didn't experience Jim Crow. I experienced the feelings of the people who went through Jim Crow. And what makes that different is my mom is scared anytime I talk shit. I'm not scared when my son talks shit. My mom's scared when I talk shit because Medgar Evers was murdered. And Martin Luther King was murdered, and Malcolm X was murdered. So everybody she saw talking shit was murdered. So she's just happy that we could work and stay out in the white folk way and get a little money. And that's enough for her. That's not enough for me.
And that's a lot, but
that's a lot of older black people.
Yeah,
right?
But it's a lot of younger black people too. Like in my millennials, a lot of my friends, they got their education. You know, they're their AKAs or Deltas or the Divine Nine. They got their corporate job, and they can't talk. You know what I'm saying?
They have too much to lose.
Yeah. So it's messed up. It's like, you know,
that's a genius tactic though, right?
Huh?
That's a genius tactic. If I give you, hey, how much do I have to give you to shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
But I'm not giving it to you that way. I'm giving it to you in a special way. Hey, you not like them. You're not like
You're
them.
not like them. We're all
Because once I make
humans.
an individual, then now you're not like black first.
Right.
Or a woman first.
Ooh,
you are educated and bougie, and I was raised differently than that, and I'm not going to be over there with them. And so the number of people who voted for Kamala or who voted for Biden and who did it because they were being the grown-ups in the room, that was the word, we're being the grown-ups in the room. Okay, so everybody else is childish because we don't agree with you. But the thing is, you need us too. Now, look, I voted for Kamala, but I voted for Kamala simply because I grew up in an era where I saw Trump firsthand. I ain't talking about his first part.
So when you say Trump is racist, give me, because I don't.
I mean,
I believe that
he did the Muslim ban.
I don't
I
think
don't know if
the
we call
Muslim
that
ban?
racist.
I don't think. Wait, hold on.
That was a
Let's
real
be clear.
thing.
I don't think that Biden is not racist.
No,
I absolutely
yeah.
know
No,
he's
I'm just
racist
asking.
too.
But you saying that
But
you
Trump,
grew up in the era.
when you grow up in when Trump and his dad specifically were getting when they were getting sued for discrimination, housing discrimination, right? This is the 70s. This is when I'm a child. I'm watching this. When he's talking shit to Reggie Jackson on the radio, I'm watching this. I'm seeing this. When the Central Park 5, he goes and puts a full page ad out, and then even after the Central Park 5 are cleared, he goes back and goes, I still think they did it. I know they did. As a matter of fact, I think they made a mistake letting them go, right? When you say there are good people on both sides in Charlottesville, right? I think what we've danced around with Trump is because Trump used to have black friends.
And they're all in a certain class.
Right, but it is absolutely, but class is class, and I think that's true.
With that lawsuit, because I go back and forth with that because how, like, if I have luxury apartments or a luxury, and you trying to push Section 8 and stuff like that, I don't think that's racist because they messing it up right now.
That wasn't what he was doing. And those places weren't luxury. That was the lie. And that's how Trump has always done it. I think that's one of the other things that Trump is, that's not what he's good at. That's what he's best at. Mm-hmm. Even in his book, he said, if I had $1, I would give it to a publicist to make sure that my name got out there because I could use the publicity to become richer. What Trump would do is put his name on luxury things, but Trump never built a luxury thing in his life. So the apartments that he was renting weren't luxury. They were poorly constructed. He used that argument in court. But the reality was they were no better than any other New York apartments. And when black people tried to apply for them, he actively said no. It wasn't even Section 8 or government assistance. He was actively turning down black and brown people who were applying because they had black and brown names. That was part of the lawsuit.
But using Section 8 as justification.
He was right, but that was
saying,
I mean, if you got a good
black
lawyer,
and brown
that's
people are Section 8, and it's like
right.
We're not only affirmative
but
action.
Again, though, if you Trump's history with women is worse than his history with race, if we're going to be honest. Is he racist? Sure.
Mr.
Is he
grabbing by the pussy? No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, the bottom line is Trump, I don't think Kamala's policies were, I think we need to stop arguing about people's policies simply because none of them could get it done unless Congress allows it. So what is their platform? Who fucking cares? They're not going to get any of it done unless Congress allows it, period. Right? You saw that with Barack once 18 months was over and they got that second, 2 years after his election, and they elected a whole shit ton of Republicans. Nothing could get done. And Mitch McConnell was actively saying, I'm going to block everything he does. So fuck their platform for just a second. The reality is the only office he ever held in his life was president. And only a white man could never run for office in any other way. Mayor, not city council. Motherfucker ain't never been on the school board. He ain't never been a PTA leader. And you gonna let him be president because he's been a businessman his whole life. That's wild to me.
I think it's genius. But the reason why is because the system is so rigged.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, I think regardless of what you think about Trump, like, and I have some feelings about it, and I also voted for Kamala, just full disclosure, but like
Trump 2024
is too.
No,
but I
get it.
He won.
Thank you for not kicking me.
He won.
I don't have to.
But you gotta understand. My thing was because you understand, Mr. Gregory's always say it's a game.
It is.
Right, and what I was by the way giving you and not like you need credit, but like what I do understand, right, is like Trump or not, whether or not like you think he's genius or you just voted for him because you're tired, like if you've gone through every branch of government from federal down to local and you're getting no fucking help, if no one is listening to you, yeah, to a degree. Like, who fucking cares who's on the other side? Like, I understand that argument honestly more than anything.
You know what? I don't. You're the only one that has acknowledged. So thank you, because when I try
and fuck
to
Trump.
break that
Let me be clear about mine.
people,
Fuck Trump 2024, but I do understand.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
And my thing, no, in the real talk, it's fuck. And my thing is fuck the Democratic Party in Chicago. Okay, because Chicago, these politicians, these Democratic parties, it's a machine.
And you know how I feel about New York, too. So.
And I really can't let them go nationally after they fucked Bernie a few years ago.
Yeah, so my thing is like breaking this machine. Right? My thing is breaking this machine, because we're never going to get anywhere if we continue to allow these useless people in here. But we also need to vote.
And that's, by the way, what...
locally.
And not what... And this is not to defend... white people. Okay, let me have you qualify.
Oh, here we go. What's up, Catherine?
But let me say, I do think a lot of white people that voted for Trump feel the exact same way and don't think they're like, whatever with the fucking Muslim ban, whatever if he did the Central Park 5, like they remove themselves from the broader, more like intellectual, like, well, is he racist? Is he sexist? They're like, fuck it. The system's been broken. Democrats said they were going to help, me, and specifically me and my family economically, me and my family. Like, he played best to that. He played best to that, especially in fucking white people.
The unfortunate problem with that is, though, for those people, they are sincerely believing that he's going to help. Like, Zoe, I don't think you believe that he's going to make your life better. Like, if I voted, I don't believe Trump's going to make my life better.
No, I will tell you this. Now, I'm in there. Okay, because I made some noise. I almost flipped this state red. Real talk.
But
Black Chicago. No.
Oh no, I know. I saw that she won this city by the smallest margin in at least 30 years.
Yeah. The problem is, I have a plan, and that's a problem with us. We don't have plans. I have a plan. I'm gonna meet with that man, and I'm gonna give him my plan. And the plan is overall for us. We are freedmen, and I think we can go dig in that another time, but we are freedmen. We have a Freedmen Federal Bureau. We are getting lumped in with people of color, black and brown, LGBTQ. Now I said this on the Breakfast Club. I am part of the alphabet community. But that's a white agenda. That's real talk. And it's always been like that. I have been discriminated so badly and have not been able to get no help from even them, GLAAD, all them. You understand? The government destroyed my family's property. We had a block, and we have yet to get paid. And these are Democrats that always talk about how racist the Republicans are. What are y'all doing? Y'all are masked behind these people. You got these black pawns, because that's what they are, on a Democratic Party, and you got the people in the back making all the noise.
I think the scary part is that in almost all politics, we're pawned. Because we're talking about Byron Donald, who is right now confused, because he helped with the ouster of the previous speaker, right? Thinking that Trump was going to provide, and he didn't. But you're seeing a lot of that with the unions too, right? Because Trump was like, I'm going to help with the steel.
He fucked over the steel.
And so my thing, what I would say to that is, I wouldn't trust Trump's word if Trump said, I'm going to wake up tomorrow. There's nothing he could say that would make me trust him.
But I do, by the way, I feel like you could meet with him.
Oh, I absolutely think you could meet with him.
I agree with you.
But my thing is, though,
but also, if that's the case, the Democrats haven't kept their word either. So
I do think he'll lie.
I can't say he's worse.
I do think he'll lie.
I think, I look at us as a business. And my thing is, I feel like we need our own department. Black America need their own department. Freedmen Affairs, whatever you want to call it. We need our own department, and we do have it. We just don't talk about it. And then we have people like Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, all them sellouts and stuff that never pushed anything. So we just out here just figuring it out, right?
You're not give her none for pushed? Jesse Jackson, come on, man. Y'all. Nigga, that was nice, though. That was crazy. Push, you get it.
But what I think is
all I know is motherfucker worth $10 million and ain't never had a job.
Someone else needs to say
the idea of voting for ourselves. That's something you talked about, and what that looks like for people who voted, no matter if they person won or not. They are in for a different world. you got to pay $1,200 for a decent studio in Chicago. It's a different world coming regardless of who they voted for. What does it look like for us to vote for ourselves? Not everybody gonna do.
We have a time to go third party.
And what does that look like?
Looks like we need to start right now. The problem is us.
We wait until 2028 to start.
It's time to start now. Let me tell you something. The Republican Party, right?
Now,
let me tell you something. I don't fuck with J.D. Vance. When he first said that he was going to have J.D. Vance, I said, hell no, right? Because I was already going for Trump because of the situation. But when I saw him pick J.D., and I was tweeting when Byron, you bet not pick Byron Donalds. You bet not pick Tim Scott. You understand? Like, them are coons. I know who are coons and who are not, but we have to get our own. Like, my thing is, we could take over the Democratic Party right now. We can go get Rufus. Get Rufus together. We have the money. Ain't no PAC better. Ain't no PAC bigger than a black PAC. We just raised $1 billion for Kamala in 6 months, and she's $20 million in the hole. Bitch, what happened? But I'm saying, but you went and got everybody. Beyonce, nobody could save you. But at the end of the day, we are politically lazy. We don't want to talk about it. Some of my friends, I'll be trying to explain, like, look at girl, not today, da-da-da-da. But
not
then,
for another 4 years.
Yeah, but then get mad at me because I didn't vote for Kamala. Bitch, it's not today, remember? So that's what I'm saying. Like, we can start right now, right? As soon as we done with this, y'all, you can pick 10 candidates that you think is independent. You can pick 10 candidates. I can pick 10 candidates.
We find the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I mean, are you gonna run?
If I got to, because we got to get that White House. We got to get that White House.
I'm not being, by the way, like accused. I'm
but
curious.
But locally.
But here's something. We've seen this happen. The only problem was they tried to do it within the Republican Party. The Tea Party did exactly what you're saying in 2010. Starting in 2008 when Barack Obama was nominated, they said, fuck that. They went out and they found a bunch of like-minded. We're all libertarian. We don't even hear about libertarians as much as we used to. But from 2009 until 2014, 15, every Republican was a libertarian. I'm not really a Republican. I'm a libertarian. I believe in government keeping their hands off my shit. That was the Tea Party. That was a branding. They did it. And they were winning elections on the local level. They were winning elections on the local level. So the machinery was built because it felt grassroots. So once they started to win their local school boards, their local city councils, the mayors became that, and all of a sudden, if your mayor and your city council are Tea Party, then it's a lot easier to get your state legislature Tea Party. And if your state legislature is Tea Party, now the Republicans start going, wait a minute. Tea Party people are winning elections. We need to put some money behind these Tea Party motherfuckers so we can stay in power. And they did. And they continued to do it until Donald Trump's populism came and shut all that shit down, because Donald Trump didn't need the Tea Party. Donald Trump didn't need the big money. He didn't need Dick Cheney. He didn't need any of the Bushes. That motherfucker came in and said, everybody suck my dick. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm Donald Trump. Bye.
Right. And
that's if we did that,
but yeah,
if we did that, if we said, hey, okay, because by the way, that's how Brandon Johnson won. That's how Lori Lightfoot won. They won because we believed, at least with Brandon Johnson, we believed through his school board contacts that he was actually a man of and for the people. He was backed by a lot of activists. He was backed by a lot of this city's activists. What we were doing then is exactly what people were asking us to do for Kamala. We didn't know that he would be good. We just knew that the other dude was going to be bad. That's what we did, right? I don't trust that guy. He's too pro-cop. In an era where we didn't need anybody to be pro-cop, Brandon Johnson was like, I don't fuck with the police either. We were like, yes, finally. But he wasn't a candidate. We didn't know shit about him. And in fact, remember during that first run, he was picked to finish like at the bottom. He was a surprising second choice. And people went, I guess that's what we'll do. He used his identity the same way Kamala tried to do. He's black. The city is black or brown and black. If that's what we're doing, then let's find a candidate that's actually about that action, that will go in and say, suck my dick, I'm not doing any of that shit.
Exactly. Thank you, Melodious Monk. I swear to God, I have been saying this for over a year. And people thought I was crazy.
No, I mean, but the other thing is, and again, I'm 52, so a lot of times when I'm talking shit, there are things I'm not going to do. I ain't got that much time left. But I do know that if I don't do something, my 20-year-old daughter and my 8-year-old son are going to have to live through 40, 50, 60, 70 more years of this. And I'm not going to tell them, well, if you just go get a degree, it'll help you, because my mama's got a degree. My mother was within a few. bruh, my mother's within a few credits of getting a doctorate. She owes $100,000 and couldn't, at no point in her life did she make more than $60,000 a year.
That's fucked, bro.
My mother,
at no point in her life did she make more than $60,000 a year.
68, I remember she called me saying, I got some good news. I'm like, what? I just paid off my student loans. How? Like, come on now.
How old was she?
68.
What are we doing?
Remember Barack and Michelle, when they got into the White House in their 40s, Barack was like, oh, we finally paid our stuff off. And the reason they paid it off is because he wrote that fucking book, Dreams of My Father, or Hopes of, and they made a shit ton of money. Made like $4 million off that book.
Off that Netflix deal to come
that was after. But yeah, he bought it with that $4 million. He was like, oh, I could pay these law degrees off. You running for president with student loans?
Yeah.
You running for president with debt, Pat?
He be playing basketball. That brother got some.
Nah, but yeah, you right. Like, yeah.
He can ball and he still ain't getting no fucking. Like, come on, son. You had the lefty jump in the smooth handle and you couldn't get.
He's literally one of the top percentile of niggas on the planet Earth.
And he still has student loans. That's why I ain't go to college. I couldn't afford it.
Yeah, no,
but that's the reality is this idea of elites being a left thing and the West Coast and LA and New York. Elitism is the problem across the board.
What?
Republicans are elite. Which Republicans are coming? J.D. Vance, I came from Appalachia. Get the fuck out of here, son. You went to an Ivy League college. Your people had money. Your mom was a crackhead, but that ain't had shit to do with Mexicans. That was because of the whatever. The bottom line is.
Read up on like when he went to Loyola and he had did this class. That's how he met his wife, and they're talking about how white men are oppressed. Boy,
nigga, what did you just tell me?
No, that's a real talking point across the board.
Sucks.
Did you see what you call it?
He sucks.
Did you see that White Lotus? Have you ever watched White Lotus?
He sucks.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched the show White Lotus?
Nah.
So it's in season 2, there's this family. The mother's a writer. She's super famous, and the son is like this real, angsty white kid. And the sister's calling him out on this bullshit. Like, yo, this motherfucker complain and cry all the fucking time. She was like, well, white men have it hard right now. And so right now, LH Fang was just on Twitter a couple days ago, and he goes, the big issue right now is young men were easy targets because starting at age around 11, if you're Gen Z and you're young, around age 11, the Me Too movement starts, and boys start to feel like they're the enemy. Why the fuck would I feel like I was the enemy because a bunch of women got raped if I'm not a rapist? Why the fuck would I feel like a person who, why would I feel like the public enemy if everybody's selling, oh man, men out here being aggressive. They are. They're fucking, I'm aggressive, but I'm not aggressive with women. Men are violent. I'm fucking violent. I snatched my homie up last week on some play shit, but it was too much.
I saw it, yeah, he did.
But you know what I'm saying? We gotta stop. We gotta stop pretending that these things aren't true.
Right.
We have to stop pretending that the things they say aren't true, and instead of feeling like a victim when someone accuses us of a thing, because that's wild. Victims are the ones who make the accusations. The person a victim accuses is not the victim, but that's what we've done. All of the people, Me Too, scared men, poor men. No, motherfucker. If men were doing the shit, then that's who fucking is supposed to be accused. Well, just accuse the ones who did it. That's who they accused. Why would an 11-year-old boy feel accused if Harvey Weinstein raped somebody? Why would some little black boy go, oh man, they got Diddy. They coming for me next. Why? Did you rape somebody, motherfucker? If you didn't rape, sexually assault, put a woman in a compromising position, you have no reason to feel fucked up. If you did do those things.
That's why they can't stand Chris Brown, because Chris Brown still goes on with his day because he knows, like, I don't care what y'all say, I know that didn't happen or this didn't happen or that didn't happen. So I do agree with him when it comes to that, because there's a lot of women, we need to cancel Chris Brown. We need to cancel Chris Brown because of Rihanna still. But any girl that says that he's done something, they did the consent, all that. He has it and can show it. He went a couple of girls in France, I think it was France. They said that he tried to rape her, and he said, all right, we're gonna go to court. And he went back and they dropped the charge. He went back and sued her because it happens all the time. And so when you saying stuff like that, it's because we just allow stuff like trans. What's her name? What's that lady name? Caitlyn Jenner. Wait, Woman of the Year. Woman of the Year.
I think the issue is less that a trans woman be Woman of the Year,
Woman
more
of
that
the Year,
Caitlyn
and
Jenner
we never pushed back. Women never pushed back.
Oh no, they pushed back.
No. They didn't push back as much. Let me tell you something. Anytime you say anything about a Jewish person, anytime you say anything about a Jewish person, they're gonna end up Congress is gonna end up apologizing, giving them a law.
But here's what and that's true. Let's be clear. That's 100% true. Here's where it gets dicey. No, this because that's a real thing.
I had a couple follow-up questions.
That is a real thing. No, but that is where it gets dicey because you can't. But no. But let's be clear. If you say the word Zionist, there are people who will come and go, "Why do you hate the Jews? Do you believe the Jews should have a state? Do you believe the Jews have a right to a name?" All I said was Zionism exists. I didn't say it was good or bad. I simply said someone was a Zionist, right?
Well,
so
Zionism is innately bad.
That's what we know. But that's not how they take it. They're literally look at people's bios. Joe Biden said you don't have to be Jewish to be a Zion. I'm proudly a Zionist. He doesn't think that there's something bad with it.
Yeah, this
there are
girl
a lot
that be coming down to City Hall. She has a Zionist shirt. She's very proud to be a Zionist.
The people don't believe this is something.
There's people that be having O-Block on their shirts too. All I'm saying is if your hood killing people, acknowledge it.
Right, but so here's the thing. With Jewish people, there's something about their suffering that collectively we've all decided was valid. Their suffering should not have happened. We all agree to that. The difference is they don't believe that black people's suffering, one, was valid. Well, not all the slave masters were bad. Well, I guess not all Nazis were bad either, but everybody died. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if all of them were. There's a joke that W. Kamau Bell has. He says, how much of your milkshake has to be shit for you to say I'm throwing the whole milkshake out, right? What if it's only 5%? Like, sure, it could be 50-50. Like, what if half of the Republican Party is racist and not the other half? Is that okay?
1/3 in a milkshake.
What if it's one? Right. If it's 5% of your milkshake is shit, it's a shit milkshake. Throw the whole milkshake away. The problem is if you say black people need to blah, 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 that's not disqualifying. But if you say Jewish people need to blah, 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 that's absolutely disqualifying. The problem there is there are people in power who identify with and as Jewish people. There are no people in power who... Why you... Hey, man. That is what it is, man. Listen, I'm in community with Habesha people. I'm Ethiopian, so I talk to Eritreans all the time. They don't fuck with Shorty. And the reasoning is exactly that, right? But the thing is that black people don't have a defender in high places. And that's why white people hated Barack Obama, because when Trayvon Martin is killed and he goes, that little boy could have been my son, white people had never considered that.
Well, that's like, by the way, why there's, healing only happens in relationship, right? Which is why that is such a scary thing, I think, to white people that don't know, like, what it feels like to be in community or only, like, look and be around a certain way. Because once you see, right, like, if I'm sitting here at the table and I have no concept otherwise of, like, what black people have gone through, once I know you and I'm in community with you, to your point, and then it's your son, and then it's you, my friend of me, that's a different conversation.
But they're in community. So there's something else too about white men specifically and community. Black people have to be in community to survive. Right now we're talking about 2-income households. Black people have been in neighborhood income households forever. Rent parties are a very specifically black thing, right? Like helping each other with your bills, running a couple dollars here, watching each other's kids when you go out so that you don't have to pay for babysitters. That's something that poor people, black and brown people, marginalized people have done. We've been in community because that's the only way we could survive. The one group has not needed that to survive and who has taught individualism from every angle is white men. Because they don't have to be. White men don't grow up looking for community. They grow up looking for leadership roles. And because they grew up looking for leadership roles, they never learned community. They never learned to see people as people. They see people as employees, as assets, as things that they can use and move around to get where they want to get.
And white women, by the way.
And white women. Exceptionalized. And they move. They help move the white men. White men think they're in control, but white women been running them too. But we can't.
That's why I would say white people.
We have to be in community, and the problem, but the problem we have is we don't have the ability to do this outside of community, and we keep exceptionalizing ourselves and thinking we can. Right? I've got 7 degrees. I don't deal with the number of black people I say I don't like to be nowhere where there's too many niggas.
It's crazy.
But nigga, we don't want you there either. You know what I mean? But that's a crazy fucking thing to say.
That type of assimilation, we seeing that on a wider and wider scale. I think as the classes start to shrink, people have frustration. They don't know who to take it out on. Who's the most easily...
the loud ones, the colorful ones, the ones who make all the noise in your neighborhood. That's them niggas. Yeah, but you know what
and
they're
so
doing?
You put the fault on those people, but at the end of the day, that class still shrinking.
Yeah, but you know what gentle parenting taught me? People act out because they have an unmet need. The loudest nigga on your block has a problem and nobody's trying to solve it.
Kyrie,
He is not. He's not everybody else's problem. That's crazy.
You teed me. It was too.
I did. No, I lied. I didn't even know you had hops like that.
You went back.
No, I didn't even know she had hops like that. You see how I threw the pass up? I thought I was shooting to Jay. She was like, "Nah, this mine, son."
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
It was really LeBron. It was way to LeBron.
I wasn't even gonna do that. I was shooting to Jay though. She caught
I don't like that shit.
That
I feel
was
like
nice.
Chris Bosh. I don't like that shit.
I did interrupt with purpose. I wanted to ask like a couple of like solutions. You know, I know that you're out like at. It sounds like City Hall or wherever, like protesting, doing your thing, doing your thing, but like collectively, you know what I mean? Like I think it helps to talk, right? I do think it's important to name the names and say the things, but like I'm just always curious, like what can we like do? Is it community forums? Like what are some, you know what I mean?
We have so I have a group like All Hands on Deck or Chicago Flips Red. And Chicago Flips Red is not like you got to be, you know, Republican. It's independent. Because my goal is there's a man that's downtown named George Blakemore. And he always says you got to go from one plantation to the next plantation to get to freedom land. I don't look at me being on a plantation. I look at my mother she has her degree in marketing and finance. And she's always been into business. She's always been an entrepreneur. So my mother's always taught me to go to the top. And so the top was, I told you, and now my goal is to switch the landscape of politics in Chicago. And while I'm doing that, I'm still preparing for, in 2028, we have this next federal election coming up, this national election coming up. Trump is done. We got to move.
Do you think he will be done, by the way? And do you think there's going to be another election?
I think it's going to be, I think all that is BS. I think that is weird propaganda. I think that is, the government.
Because that was, by the way, my biggest fear, and that was my whole thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people.
Was like, he said there won't be another election.
No,
he said that he's going to change things around so he doesn't have to.
Anything.
Yeah, I believe that too. That's why I'm curious as to what you think.
He's an entertainer. What Trump taught me is that the system is rigged. And Trump and my thing is it's time for us to get that White House. And when I say us,
you don't mean a black person.
No, it needs it needs to be, I call this the final movement. This is the movement of common sense. This is the movement of everybody that understands their privilege and understands that this is some BS. And there's no reason why we are dealing with these two political parties that I know for sure when it comes to the black ones that here, they have no leadership. They can't help me if they want to because they done stole so much money. This immigration money, we didn't even talk about that, but they done stole so much money.
And use black people against the immigrants when the truth was they stole the money. It wasn't the immigrants that stole it. They didn't use it to help the immigrants. They stole it for the government, used it for themselves, and now you get the unhoused who used to beg in front of the Walgreens, and these are my friends. I want to be clear. When I'm saying unhoused, I'm just talking about their condition so that I can make this point. I know their names. We talk every day, and I remember going in one day and not seeing them anymore. That day was the first day that I saw the Venezuelan families. Now, unhoused is unhoused to me, and as a person who very easily relates to immigrant rights, I didn't see them and go, oh, shit, here they go. I was like, oh, shit, and you got a son? They had a little boy out there. It's fucking winter. They came from Venezuela. It's warm. They're here. It's cold. They're not right. First winter. So I'm breaking them off. Summer comes, and I start to see the guys coming back around. I'm like, yo, I ain't seen y'all. Da da da. Yeah, man, they kicked us out. Fucking immigrants. Da da da. Fucking Venezuelans. And I'm like, you mad at the Venezuelans? The Venezuelans didn't walk here from Venezuela. They didn't even want to come here. They wanted to be in Texas. That's the government. The governor of Texas put them here, and our city government put them in neighborhoods where other people were already in bad shape. Why aren't they in the fucking Gold Coast? Why aren't they in these places? Why aren't they in the Viagra Triangle?
Why are they not in Pilsen?
Why are they not in Pilsen? Why are they not in Little Village?
So my thing is,
why are they not in Wicker Park?
But they're not there because our government don't give a
fuck. Ukrainians, right? Ukrainians came over here. We got 40,000 Ukrainians that came over here, and they were put up. When it came to these Venezuelans that came over here, they took all their money, and now they all over the place. Okay, and so that's
they just
black
removed that tent city like today,
right? And they have Humble Park,
yeah. Yes,
and so you
got
did
a whole thing on her. Her name Jessie Fuentes.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Because you voting for the money for them to come here, right?
Where's it going?
But where is it going?
Where's that money?
So that's my thing. When I say they are the disgrace 50
veterans.
Yeah, so like the goal is to get them out of there. So that's my goal. So my goal is to get them out of there. We have a federal lawsuit against the city. The city needs to settle our case, but in the meantime, right now they broke. We $1.2 billion in a deficit. They don't have no more migrant money. Okay, people are
and they can't tell you where it went.
They can't tell you where it's
the weed and the gambling money.
What they told today is they said that everybody's basic needs were taken care of.
How the fuck is everybody's basic needs being taken care of?
They put them up in shelters and apartments.
Why rent keep going up?
I like kept clicking because I was like, where's the detail?
Where's the accountability? But they've never done it. They've never done it, and they've never had to do it because collectively, not just this particular group or that particular group, collectively, we have allowed people to tell us what they're doing without showing us what they're doing on a scale that doesn't fucking make sense. My wife, I can't keep telling my wife I'm going to work, but I don't bring a check home. I can't keep telling my wife I'm going to work and I don't bring a check home because my words aren't matching my actions. The government has been telling us they're doing one thing. We've never seen any evidence of them doing that shit, and we keep saying, well, they said. I don't give a fuck what they said. What they did was different. When the price of the eggs went up and they were like, Joe Biden. No, motherfucker. We knew Joe Biden didn't do anything specifically to make the prices go up, but he didn't do anything to stop it. He didn't do anything to stop it. He didn't do anything to fix it. They allowed price gouging. If Kamala wanted to really, that should have been the first thing she said. She waited until 16 minutes
Monk,
before
did you
she
say
ran.
they still haven't did anything about price gouging?
Because it's
monopolies everywhere.
That's why the motherfucker have monopoly money in his back.
To my understanding, they can still get and stop them people from
price gouging. So here's a question.
Return those funds to people that they've already taken.
Yes.
But here's
by the way,
crazy.
Totally agree. But here's a question too. I mean, we can. I know we're like pushing time, and Kyrie, you have a show, don't you? You gotta fucking get up out of here. So maybe we'll just have you back and we'll do this more. But I completely agree. Like monopoly, all that shit is a huge problem if we're gonna stay like a capitalist country. Like it is the problem. How does Elon and Bezos not pushing all those contracts directly to the two of them?
Oh, they
like,
are.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's gonna. I don't think that's gonna.
No, I don't think that.
Help.
I don't think that triumvirate stays together very long because
I like the idea of Doge. I like the idea of government efficiency. Honestly, I like the idea we talked about this podcast last week. I like the idea that this shit is out in the open. Like,
absolutely,
let's name it. Let's call it. You want to fine? Pardon your fucking son. Do all this shit. You know, like I like that shit is like yeah.
I don't think the answer is a person. The answer is you voting for yourself. The answer is not waiting for another 4 years to get involved in your community. The answer is how can you get involved now and what can I do tomorrow and the day after to be better?
Yep, and anybody that tries to take you off your path, you get them out the way because you've got people. Well, they both ain't
gatekeepers.
They ain't. And we understand that they both ain't shit. But you saying that now what? Okay, they both ain't shit. So now what?
Yeah,
I think that's the issue right there is, okay, let's say both are bad. Then what's your plan to make things better? Because if you don't have, and I'm not saying you have to fix it. And I think this is the frustrating part for all of the non-voters. The assumption is that if you don't vote, you don't do anything. And there are people who are absolutely active in their communities who don't vote. And I hear you. And actually, I have a lot more respect for that version of I don't vote, right? Because you're doing things to materially change how your neighborhood runs. But the bigger issue is, if both are wrong and the solution is the whole thing needs to be blown up, however that looks, are you willing to do it? And if you're not, then point me in the direction of the people who are. That's all. I'm not even mad. Like, you trying to, I'm not trying to make you do it. I don't want anybody to do anything that makes them so uncomfortable. But I do want people to consider that if you have children or you have people that are young that you care about, are you comfortable with them living the life that you lived? If they had to go through every single thing, because I'm going to tell you, my daughter, I don't want her to experience one of the struggles I went through. And every time I talk to her, and because she goes to school in Lynchburg, Virginia, every time I talk to her and I know she's dealt with some types of microaggressions or she's dealt with some just flat out straight up in your face bullshit racism, or she's queer, so she has to deal with, like, she's got shit on the family side where there's places she can't go and she can't show up with her girlfriend, right? Watching her do that, watching her go through that, makes me more of an activist than anything else, because I don't want her to have to deal with that. This idea that we struggle, so our next generation has to know how to struggle. Fuck that. Fuck that. Not every generation of kids has struggled.
Right.
There's specific groups of kids who struggle, and I don't want my kids in that group. I don't want anybody's kids in that group. I don't want people's kids that not Gazan kids, not Congolese kids, not Sudanese kids. I don't want kids to struggle, and we're not making a world that's equitable for children. And if that doesn't make people care, nothing will. If you don't give a fuck about your kids, I definitely don't expect you to care about me.
And I think
I'm not gonna be able to convince you with my.
It's not connecting. The intersectionality of everything is not connected, because if them people fucking the kids over, how you think they treating our seniors?
Jay-Z got sued for raping a 13-year-old. I just wanted to say that because it happened during the podcast, and I didn't want us to have that.
What?
Jay-Z for real?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He's a co-conspirator in a case against Diddy from back in 2000.
Oh, they done came and got Jigga. Oh, fuck. Why we be getting these big ass funk flex drops?
I want to be his attorney. I want to talk to him. Jay-Z, call me.
I'm not gonna hold you. Jay-Z not gonna beat the allegations.
Hold on. Rock Nation put a statement out.
Not with Foxy Brown.
Rock Nation put a statement out and said, we received a letter from an attorney that was a blackmail letter, and basically the blackmail letter said, you're not gonna want to be in these allegations, so you're gonna want to pay to get this over with. To be clear, the case was already filed back in October, and Jay-Z's name was not included. 2 months later, it's refiled with his name added. Does that mean he didn't do it or he wasn't involved? I'm not that person.
They told Diddy that to throw bread, or else the Cassie thing wouldn't have come
today,
out.
like within the last hour and a half. Since we've been talking on this podcast, it's been out, because I sent the message to my wife, so that means I wasn't at home when it happened. So I was at least on the road. It's been in this conversation. And listen, I want to be clear on this. I am absolutely I believe women first until somebody proves differently, mostly because just statistically I'm more likely to be right. However, let me just be clear. I'm a huge Jay-Z fan. This is hurting my feelings. My feelings are hurt.
First thing I see on the open social media is Jay-Z got 100 problems now.
I can't. Oh my God!
You say you got 100 problems.
That's a good one. I tweeted what's better than 1 billionaire locked up. 2.
Oh my God!
I got bars though.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a crazy week. It's gonna be a crazy week. I said that because I was like, yo, this podcast is gonna go out next week, and we're gonna miss the. I want to make sure we can't miss that part of the discussion. Jay-Z being charged, it changes everything, because Jay-Z is different than Diddy. Diddy is not anyone's favorite rapper. He's some people's favorite businessman. Yeah. He's some people's, but Jay-Z is a lot of people's favorite rapper.
Snoop was just talking about Jay-Z this week and everything he's done to get
December. It was 3, a few days ago. So it's gonna be a crazy week. It's gonna be a crazy.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Joe.
I might have to smoke, and I don't even smoke.
I'm coming
this
for.
Is messed
up. I have to smoke. And
what the hell is Kevin Spacey at? What the hell is going on?
Kevin Spacey in Bali with Uncle Russ.
Where the hell is Kevin Spacey? What the hell is going on in Bali? What the hell?
They over there doing hot yoga. They doing prison yoga without the prison.
I don't know.
So what do we? Oh my God, this is that. Nah, for real though. That.
All right, so the 4 of us are running. Is that what we're talking about? I'm campaign managing. I'm not running shit. I'm not running for shit. But you running?
I got sex tapes.
I'm gonna be a
No, you probably can run.
Why would you say that?
I think we can get you to run.
Oh, you know why that won't go happen? Because I fight niggas. Like that's in
okay.
the debate. I'm gonna be like, watch your fucking mouth. I slap the shit out you.
I don't know if you have seen Donald Trump on the debate. I think it's fine.
Like, oh man, that's I'll cry a little bit.
Yeah.
Two compliments I've received in my life that made me a little emotional. That one, and multiple people said I reminded them of Dick Gregory, and you know how that's different to me. That's because Dick Gregory is a comedian, but that's second. Dick Gregory is a man who loves black people first.
That's him.
And that's
how his comedy works.
People to understand like that. Like, I love us first, so it's not like I'm not out here like Trumper. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out here because ain't no way we getting played.
That was pretty
good. That's good marketing.
Ain't no way we getting played out here, so I'm gonna take the entertain. Like, look, if he beat it, Trump beat it. I think I got Jay-Z. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna say that I believe it or don't believe it, but I will say this has been a wild week for me because a friend of mine was accused too, like somebody that I consider a friend. And I remember, and I said to him, I was like, yo, I believe women first, but this probably the first time I hope she lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't know that he didn't do it. I wasn't there. I'm never going to be the guy who go, nah, you my friend. I know you ain't do that shit. Then the tape come out and you Craig and they got you on fucking camera still in the boxes on your day off. I'm never going to put myself in that position. The only person I know for a fact what they did and didn't do is me. Outside of that, though, I am hopeful that he didn't do it specifically because if he didn't do it, then that means a 13-year-old was not harmed, at least not by him. Damn. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't want it to happen, not simply because I don't want my favorite MC to go to jail. I don't want that to have happened to. I would much rather a 13-year-old girl come up with a story to tell her father while she was out late, and it be that, than for this to have happened. However, if Jay-Z and Diddy raped a 13-year-old girl, whatever fucking happens to them, I'm not gonna be like, well, they shouldn't. I don't give a fuck what happened to Kevin Spacey if Jay-Z raped a 13-year-old girl, because motherfucker, there's a certain line where you go, that's heinous, dog. That's fucking SVU. Don't.
Why a 13? Let me tell you.
And a lot of people gonna be real happy because Beyonce gonna finally divorce him.
What? No. Wait. This is what I'm saying. Now, when we talk about implications.
Damn.
Ooh, I swear to fucking God, y'all better not act like Jay-Z is a one and done.
Oh, no, we know it's a bunch of them.
We better get rid of every fucking roach in the whole building.
Oh, it's coming.
I'm not deleting nothing off of my playlist for
No,
Jay-Z.
I'm not.
You talk about getting rid of
that. I'm not even here to talk about just playlists.
Yeah, we're talking about make sure that you get everybody. Get the game. Get everybody that we know be on bullshit, right? Because the game be out in the park with 16-year-old girls. So we got pictures of that.
And shit, like,
hey, man, hey.
He did that shit on camera.
No, I know.
But I'm just saying, I know. Stop nitpicking. Stop nitpicking.
Graphic.
It's like,
what I'm saying, gang, they
America just need a reset. Like,
America, we have a problem.
Yeah, we do.
But my whole thing is when they do that reset, everybody gets the fuck out.
Get them off.
And don't come back.
Yeah, no, they need to drop the list. They need to drop the Diddy list. They need to drop the Epstein list. They need to drop every list because I want to know who they are.
Also, 16 people 16 and under should not have social media. Australia did it. We can do it.
Yeah, they said no DMs, right?
No, they got no social media at all in Australia. If you 16,
it's not hard to do. If OnlyFans can age verify, you can fucking do it. It's not difficult. We already have. I mean, we already have this like sick culture of like just like grossly pedestalizing children as sexy, like 13, whatever. Y'all are sick.
I blame Euphoria.
I blame
TV
the Y chromosome.
Well, look at John Benet Ramsey. That was long before Euphoria, and they had that little girl dressed up like she was going to the club. This isn't like a new thing, but the access is access can be removed. Rest in peace, Barry Crimmins. Barry Crimmins went to court. He had to go to the fucking Senate. He went to Senate hearings back when AOL was brand new because AOL was saying we can't do anything if people are doing child porn online. We just have the servers.
AOL.
We don't control. True story. The reason they have nanny cams and all that stuff is because of Barry Crimmins, rest in peace, a comedian / activist who saw a problem and went out and got involved in the problem. And so there are things that you can do as an individual. He didn't have a big backer. AOL had expensive lawyers. What Barry had was a righteous indignation and a lot of fire. And he showed up, he said, listen, man, if you've been touched or you know someone who's been touched, the idea that you can have this big open space and no one can do anything about children being trafficked, photographed, if you can't control that, then shut the fucking internet down. The internet is not more important than kids' lives. And this country said, okay, then. And then we learned later on that they really don't give a fuck about kids through Sandy Hook and all of these other places. So it's going to take people saying, fuck y'all, I'm not going to work. I'm not going to keep making money for you. I'm not going to keep voting for you. I'm not going to keep building you up. I'm not going to say your name in these places where you're not at. I'm not going to support you because you're in my sorority fraternity or whatever. You got the same skin color. I'm not going to support you because we went to Yale or Harvard together. If we don't do that, if we don't make people accountable to us, who they're supposed to be accountable to, because we keep acting like they are owed our votes.
Yeah, we pay their salary. Y'all my children. Like,
I pay a portion of your wages. I want a portion of my shit done.
You got Kyrie head till you said that.
Because now I feel like
wait a minute.
have a short list.
I feel like I feel like y'all my sons.
How do y'all get in government?
So hit with a fucking Nicki Minaj bar.
Yes, I was just all
These niggas my sons.
Yeah, these are public servants.
I want to give them niggas chores like Nicki Minaj now.
That's why I be down there. I be down there going in on them every
husband a rapist
day.
too.
Me and Miss Jessica.
Why do you want to upset every group of people that will make my life hard?
Oh, here's why.
If you make the damn Nicki
I'm gonna tell you why. Because we got to stop pretending like one of the reasons that the Republicans were able to grab all these people and get them so worked up is because child sex abuse is a real thing. Is it a real thing within the Democratic Party? Not any more than it is in the Republican Party. But the Republicans were able to point the finger at the Democrats and make everybody look. Now, while they're looking, Matt Gaetz is out here sending thousands and thousands of dollars to fucking 15-year-old hookers. Let's talk different about that. But the reality is, nobody's protecting kids. Nobody's protecting kids.
Really
the only thing they're doing to protect the kids is to make sure that they don't learn history. They're protecting kids in Florida and Texas by making sure they don't learn history.
It's really not even protecting them. You're harming them.
Exactly. That's my point. When they say they're protecting kids from trans people reading them books. Motherfucker, the trans people reading them books just reading them books. You need to worry about these old fucking Republican congressmen
fucking the shit out of them.
Hey man, you could have.
I
mean,
see why we wanted the game.
First Hey Man on the way out.
It's going both ways. Absolutely.
Push weird limits on children. Kids are losing their innocence.
A long time ago.
And it's a problem. And social media is social media is the problem.
It's the big one because everyone at this table has their phone on the table. I've checked my phone multiple times. One, to go back and look at the notes to make sure we're trying to touch some of the topics. Every now and then, my wife will send me a message about, hey, by the way, if y'all still talking, talk about this. This is something that you didn't know.
Okay,
but I have my phone all the time. I'm addicted to my phone.
How do you get one?
Oh, man. I was 41. I was 41 when it happened.
Yeah,
so
I remember
it took me a minute. Yeah, it took me a minute.
Your wedding pictures.
Yeah. We were squatting in the name of love. But,
wait, like weights or y'all doing prison poses?
Prison poses.
Nice.
Yeah. I wasn't in the gym yet. I had really skinny everything. But what happened was I fucked up enough. And I don't think you have to fuck up in relationships enough, but I think you have to fuck up in life enough to actually want something nice. And then when you get to something nice, to try to maintain that nice thing. It's real easy to get a pretty woman. I ain't never dated ugly women in my life. I ain't never struggled. The dudes out here, man, these bitches want. Nah, I ain't never had that problem. I've never had a problem with a woman. They don't want to spend no money. They spent money on me. I spend money on them. They spend money on me. That's a you issue, sir. Don't talk about what women don't do. Just say what women don't do for you. But what happened was there was a point in my life where I was by myself and I looked out and I went, I probably could have married at least half of the women I've dated in the last 15 years. None of them would have been disappointing. It wouldn't have been like I was settling. All of them were amazing women. So the problem must be me. And I said, okay, well, what am I not doing in these relationships? Because I was breaking up with them. Here's the other thing. I was breaking up with them and then going, well, shit, now I'm by myself and I miss all of this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Wasn't it just like, hey, man, this is my friend, too. I was breaking up with him for little shit, anything. And then I met my wife, and I'm like, hey, before we start, let me tell you everything I've ever done fucked up. She asked every hard question. You ever done this in a relationship? You ever done this in a relationship? And I was like, yep, no. Well, how do I know you're not going to do it again? You don't. I can tell you I'm not going to, and I'm going to do my best not to because I actually care about you, but this is where we are. Mm-hmm. And I had to be vulnerable enough up front to go, I'm not sending my representative. She never met him. My representative didn't show up on the first date or the 10th year. Mm. And so even right now, we were talking this morning because my 8-year-old's never seen us argue. Mm-hmm.
That's raw.
He's never seen us argue. Not because we don't disagree on anything, but because there's a type of respect that we have for each other, that the way that we talk to each other, even when we disagree, is respectful. Because that's where we start, right? Mm-hmm. If you say, the way we talked, right? Okay, I don't fuck Trump. I disagree with that part, but I'm not going to be like, yo, fuck you, Zoe, stupid ass, because this motherfucker. Mm-hmm. No. First of all, I had to listen to you to hear why. I can't just assume I know your reasoning. So now when you tell me your reasoning, okay, I hear you. Even though I might not have taken that tact, I understand how you got there. Okay, we cool. Let's keep talking. That's how I talk to my wife. And I see dudes do this with their friends. They do this with their male friends. They'll let their male friends say their whole position, right? Even if they disagree. They won't call them all types of bitch-ass motherfuckers because of da-da-da-da. But your lady is unrealistic and doesn't take accountability and won't do the right thing and da-da-da-da. We don't treat women like whole people. We treat women like we treat women like white people treat us.
Yes.
We do. We treat them like a group of tropes and stereotypes. And as soon as they lean into it just a little bit, we like, see?
She's doing it again.
She's doing it again, right? But what she's doing, and again, I say this, we were talking earlier, misbehavior or any type of behavior acting out is an unmet need. My responsibility to my wife is to make sure that the needs of hers that I can meet, I'm meeting. If I'm not meeting them, what is my expectation? She gonna act the fuck up. So the first thing I would do when I see my wife acting up is go, what did I stop doing that I was doing? I'm not cooking as much as I used to. Now the work ain't being equitably split no more. We both working financially to provide for the house, so we should be working equitably to make sure that the house is taken care of. We both made this child. We're both responsible for this child. Shit, the baby got my last name. I should be doing some of the child care, right? I should be doing at least half of it because I'm home I'll fucking work at night. Why she got to do all the daytime activities if I don't have nowhere to go till 7:30, 8:30 at night? So for us, the lack of argument comes from the fact that we respect each other. It ain't that we don't disagree. We disagree all the fucking time. We disagree about childcare, about what to eat, about how we gonna go forward with careers. All of that shit we disagree with. But I'm also her biggest cheerleader. So I say the way to find the person that you're looking for is to find the person that you want to be. They ain't got shit to do with the women. You want to find a wife? Be a good spouse. And if you could be a good spouse, you probably can find a good woman.
Because you're attracted to what you are.
Maybe. You know, I mean, I'm attractive too, so let's be clear. A lot of times, I have options, Playboy. No, I just said that to get you to spit your coffee out.
Sick.
We got to wrap.
Yes.
We're an
hour over tonight.
We got a heavy wrap. Zoe, what can we either plug for you, or what can you tell people about? Yeah, how can they support you?
Should they meet you downtown?
Yeah.
What day should they
if
meet
people
you downtown?
want to collect and if people want to gather,
if
then,
you're in Chicago, go support Zoe Leigh downtown. Help her get her family's money.
Yeah, that. And then also I'm on YouTube, Mr. Steal Your Wig 1.
That's why I got my hat on. I ain't want my wig stolen.
On X too, and Instagram, and but I'm out here. Everybody pretty much knows that I'm out here and what I'm doing, and I just want to tell black people though, because a lot of black people that a lot of my friends and stuff.
A lot of my friends are
a little upset, But then there are people that understand. They trust me, and that's what I'm saying. Just trust me. Like, I'm for us. I love us. I love my allies, and just know that it's something bigger. Dick Gregory taught me, and I am for us, and I'm going to figure out this. I'm going to go to the top. We don't have any leaders out here. We don't have anybody speaking for us, and it doesn't make any sense. Economically, we are all messed up, and it doesn't make any sense for me why all these corporations is getting money, all these politicians is getting money, and we just paying taxes. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, my thing right now, especially, I've been watching Unlocked. I was telling the guys about this, and we'll talk about it next week. But like, especially as it relates back in the last 30 seconds of this podcast to the carceral system, like, how is there so much money everywhere, but not to support people when they walk out of jail? Like, I mean, it's we'll do that. Obviously, we'll have you back for sure, Zoe. Do y'all have anything that we need to plug last minute? Everybody's overtime.
12:20 Friday, 12:20 pull up. Vote for us. Best pod of the year. With the Comedy Gazelle.
What's the guns? Is that necessary?
Did you want me to put a stick in it and put a switch on?
Free Larry Hoover.
What the fuck?
Why was that the line, dog? Why was that the line? I feel
we've talked about that.
I do have some stuff. What I got? I got December 20th. I got December 27th. I'm sorry, December 27th through 29th. I'll be in DC at the DC Comedy Law. 5 shows over 3 nights. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, 1 show Sunday. Come out. It's a holiday spectacular. We do it every year. Last year was New Year's Eve parties. This year is going to be the after Christmas spectacular. So y'all going to have a couple extra dollars. Your grandmother came put $5 on your head. Spend it on the tickets. January 3rd and 4th, I'll be in Fort Worth, Texas at Big Laughs. Big Laughs, Fort Worth, Texas. I think that's enough for right now. 2 shows. DC, Fort Worth, Texas. Just outside of Dallas.
I'm going to chop it with you.
Yeah, because I know you.
I'm flying out on Tuesday, Wednesday.
You be out there for.
We're going to chop it.
For working.
Yeah.
When I'm
job. Writing for TikTok, and they're taking my job.
Who do you work for?
So I write for grocery stores.
No. I want you to say. He's being so humble.
Okay. So
not only does he write for
wait,
grocery
let me finish.
stores.
Let me finish, Monk. I don't want you to do it. Let me do it on my terms. I
like I'm trying to outside.
You are. So just shut the hell up. Let me do it. I produce content for social media for some subsidiaries of Albertsons, and part of that includes mascot services as well as social media strategy. So I do put on suits for local Chicago grocery stores. And
we don't have time for this one.
This is like all he had to say was, "Yo, I'm the mascot for Jewel Osco. I'm JoJo.
You knew he was gonna do this.
I'm Joe for the J.O. Jewel Oscar. That's you. So you ain't got to do. I do subsidiary. Motherfucker, stop. I'm the mascot for Jewel, or for the as black people say, I'm mascot for Jules. But I also write social media content for them. Boom, done. You did this
because you ain't making sound.
Jesus Christ, you went all the way down Lakeshore Drive to come right back up through Ashley. Why you go so far?
Because I took the scenic route.
All right.
We're at the end of the podcast.
We are at the end of the podcast. New show in 2025 here at the Lincoln Lodge will be the workout room. That's I guess what I'm going to plug. And I'm also I'm producing the comedy for So Far Sounds now, and they brought music. They do music pop-ups like Don't Tell, but we're bringing comedy back too. So that's Wednesday. Actually, this pod will come out on Tuesday. That's Wednesday, and we've got Calvin and Mo on the Calvin Evans and Mo Good on the. This one we did one back in September. Anyway, it's coming back monthly, so keep an eye out for that if you like comedy and music together, like most of us.
Oh, and Michaela and Selassie, I love you. I be forgetting.
We
my
love
kids.
you all. We love
I
everybody
don't
in the room. We
I
love
don't
Dave.
like
Well,
everybody.
I mean here.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah.
love all my old work.
all
Here.
I've been
We
missing
love all y'all.
exes.
Thank you
Tyler,
for listening.
Dave. Zoe,
Christian, the Lincoln
both of
Lodge.
the
Christian, Lincoln Lodge, all the Christians.
We love each
Thank y'all
other.
for
All my
having me.
We love each
Most
other
of them-
deeply.
not all your
All my
exes.
future baby mamas.
No,
No.
I ain't made it with
I can't. We can't
Alicia.
make that promise.
I can. I love all
Oh
y'all.
my God, free Jay-Z.
Crazy. That's crazy. How you in the podcast with free Jay-Z? I got 99 problems. Shit, I got a new one. Hit me.
Oh my God, I'm
Niggas
so
just gonna
sad.
be like in the middle of nothing, like fuck, they got Jay-Z.
They got Jay-Z. I'm on the way home. The blueprint don't even sound the same.
That was wild to wait an hour to tell us that. By
Can't
the
see
way.
him coming down my eyes, but I gotta let the song cry.
Oh my God, tell your wife thank you.
Yeah, shout out to my
Oh,
baby.
God. Girls,
Oh, and Jadakiss got good coffee,
girls,
but anyway,
girls,
I'm out.
Right.
Girls.
Oh my God.
Listen, that's 3 years. The lady was about Beyonce age. Let's keep it 100,000.